Okay, so first you need to launch Blender. Since it's the first time you open the software, you will meet this screen where you can choose the language. Shortcuts, Blender defaults are great, and the mouse key which serve to select things. So unless you are a psychopath, you can just leave it to the left. Normal people do. Spacebar you can put to search because you will need more the search function that plays just for animation, and you can change the theme. Once it's done, you can put next and click here. Boom, Blender. First thing you want to do is select everything, delete. And if you have a small monitor like me right now, because I'm on a laptop, you can reduce this here, Windows, and uncheck the show status bar, and you can do the same things for the modeling tab here and the UV editing tab. I like to change this too. So you go to UV editing and here you go to 3D viewport. When it's done, you go to File, Default, Save Startup File. Boom, boom. So you don't have to do it every time you launch Blender. Next, you go to Google and you download on GitHub the Morrowind Nif plugin by Greatness7 Nice Guy. You click here to download. Once it's done, you go to File, Edit, Preferences, Add-on, Install, and you go download eosyn MW. It's a zip file. Install add-on. It's supposed to show up. I don't know why it doesn't for me. You can search it. You can look in for here. Tag. You check the box to enable the plugin, and all you have to do is define your texture path on the plus icon and on the folder icon, sorry. And for me, it's game Morrowind data files textures. Accept. Boom, done. What you can do now is import something to see if it works or not. So as you can see, you have now a Morrowind NIF option. You click that and you go to your game folder, data and meshes folder. It's where all your NIFs are. And we will import something. I don't know why. Okay, let's import Scar. What you want to do all the time, I don't know why it's not default, but it's check this box, or Blender will rename all the textures and it will be a pain, trust me. And import. It's a big model, so you will have to zoom back with the mouse wheel button. You can navigate the camera by pressing the mouse wheel button. You can zoom in and out with the mouse wheel, and you can hold shift and hold the mouse wheel to move like that. Okay, so now if you want to know if you have installed the plugin correctly, especially the texture path setting, you go to the material preview. And if your texture path is correct, all the textures will show up. Right. Here in the top right corner, you have the collections. So you can select things either in the scene view or in the collection panel here. So the model is divided by different parts, and all these parts have different textures. That's why you can merge them. If you try to merge everything, you can. I will just hide the collision, select hierarchy H, and I will press A to select everything, and I will hold Ctrl G to merge all the parts. Now every part is into one, and if I want to export that, it will be separated again. I can show you if you want. Let's export Morrowind on the desktop, Scar, and if I go to my desktop, you will need Nifskope to open Nif files, I will put a link in the description. You can download it on GitHub too, here. You open up your export, and as you can see, everything is separated again by textures. So if I go here, you can see the rib, the spots, everything is separated again because that's just how it works. Right, I will unmerge things and I will show you the material tab. So basically you can select different parts, and as you can see, the name will show up because you have check on import the box I told you to check. Otherwise it will be just material 1, material 2, etc. The add-on also add a settings here in the material tab, material, Morrowind, and that's where you will be able to add new material. But basically Morrowind only just a diffuse map, so it's just a texture. You click here to open up, and you will be looking for your textures folder. So for me, it's game again, Morrowind, data files, textures. All the textures are here, and you can add them here. So if I do that, now as you can see, the texture have changed. And if I go to UV editing, I will check. That's what the texture look like. If you wanna open, I will do it right now. Textures. If you wanna open the textures in, I will just looking for this one. What is it? What is it called? TX colony row. We will be looking for this one up here. If you want to open NIF files outside, DDS files outside Blender, you can use XNView. I will put a link in the description too. It's pretty good, and that's what the texture look like. All right. So here what I did is I just changed the texture path into the material. So this texture doesn't correspond to the right, this material doesn't correspond to the right texture anymore. So that's not how you do it. Normally, you do it by adding a new texture, create a Morrowind shader, and that's where you wanna add your texture. Not by changing existing one, because the name has to correspond to the texture. Oh, boom. I've got a new material. By default, it will not rename it, so it's better to just copy and paste the name, because when you have dozens of files, you will want to see the name, or it will be too difficult for you. What can I show you? We will model something. So A to select everything, delete. Alt H to reveal the collision that we had hidden before, and delete, same thing. So now what we can do is model something. So we'll click here to align the camera, and I've prepared a little image. You can just drag and drop here, and you can scale it right there. Okay, and in object mode you can do merge. You can only move, rotate, scale things. So S for scale, G for moving, R for rotate, and you can use the axis. So if I press G and Y, we will be moving on the Y axis. If I press X on the X-axis, Z on the Z-axis. And if I hold Control, and you can see at the top left corner, it will follow the grid. So what we will do now is go to add mesh, and we will be adding a cycle. So 32 vertices, it's too much for more. We will be just using half that. And once it's done, you select this and you press tab, or you go here to go to edit mode. We will scale up a little bit, we will add in the camera, and we will be moving along the Z axis. And we will be modeling this quickly. E to extrude, Z to the Z axis, scale, easy, scale. I will be like as fast as possible. It's not about modeling. Come on. I just want to show you how to export something quickly. That's not how you will want to do it. So, if it was really for the game, it's just an example. Okay, something like that. Okay, and when I'm at the top, I can press F to add a face. So now what we have that we can hide this in object mode. Here you should have, I don't even know where it is on this version. Let's just put shade smooth. So most of the time you can use auto smooth, and when you have a function that you will be using often, you can right click and add to quick favorites. It's a Q key, and so now you don't have to press search type for the thing. You just press Q and shade smooth. Boom. Back up to modeling. I will show you how to UV. So basically UV is how you want to apply the texture to your model. So you can go here. We will be adding a little bit of detail. Alt plus here you can change the selection mode. I pressed 2, so I'm in edge selection mode, and Alt plus click on the edge will select a loop. Here you can bevel. Come on. What the fuck? Okay. We'll add some bevel. Come on. And we'll go to face mode, and we'll select different face we want to apply the same texture. Let's say all these faces will have the same texture. So you can go to separate, add to quick favorites. No. Separate by selection, and let's say this one too will have a different texture. So if I go to my folder, I want to use the redware texture, so I can have the name here. We will be using the strip for this part. So I go here, create a Morrowind shader, base texture, open texture, and here I just passed the name of the texture, and I rename it here because I don't want to be looking for it later. Same thing here, we will be using for this part, maybe this, or this one. What does it look like? Okay, maybe this one. Same thing, create a Morrowind shader, open, texture, past, open, and I can already use material preview. And I want this one for this part. We could have imported like this plate, so all the material will have already been here, and you just have to select them, but it's too late. What I will be doing is select everything, and recalculate outside because the texture were inside out. Now it's good, except for this part. Come on, what the fuck? Okay, now it's good. Next, we will be adding the UVs. So it's basically unwrapping the UV, the model, and you will add seam, mark seam. And now when you go to, again, it's not a modeling tutorial, so I don't go into detail. We'll just be doing it as fast as possible. Oh, and I've got a better idea. I will go here. I will merge by distance because I will merge everything again, so we don't have to do. We can do all the unwrapping in one go. So Control G to merge again. Everything selected. Merge by distance, and so my model is one model again. Every part, if I go here, everything is moving, and so I kept my scene, and now when I go to unwrap, it's just one big piece, and so I can go here. We will be using an add-on that's pretty good. So edit preferences, add-ons, and we will need this free add-on. You can download it, UvSquares. And now if I install UvSquares master, where is it? UvSquare enable, and now when I am in the UV tab, I've got UvSquare. And so you can select a face, let's say this one, follow active squad, boom. Now you do this, you can go here. Oh my god, it's a pain to have a small monitor. Okay, it's here. And what you want to do is to this, where is it? This part to match the grid. I will explain why. Okay. Now I can separate my model again. Select by material, selection, select by material, selection. Okay. Now why by one? What I will do is size 2, let's say. Is it good? I guess it's good. Size 2. Oh, come on. Oh, no, it's not enough. At least not for this part. So you can move it along the y-axis and we will be okay. What you want is this side to match the grid and this side to match the grid. Because if you don't, I will show you. You will understand. See, if it doesn't match, you have a seam. If it match, you don't have a seam. And it's the same for all the whole model. You can press Shift Alt Z to hide the UI, and then we can select the spot. We'll select everything but this. How does it look? Just show me the right texture. Oh, okay. So what you want to do is this and this. So when you move the parts, it will match. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, it's a bit small. Okay, perfect. Let's see how it looks. And this one, UV editing, same thing. Okay, we can do the same here. Oh, here's one more. Okay. That's how our model look. It's a bit this part we need to. Okay. It was too. I think it's. Yeah. Okay, it's better. Okay, that's our model. I just noticed that this one is not good. We will add another texture for it. Do we have one? Not really. We'll just merge with this part. Okay. I hide everything that has already been textures correctly, unwrapped correctly. So when I do the U to unwrap, it just unwrap this part. And then I can hide everything. Alright, so that's how it looks. It's not so bad. What I will show you now is vertex paint. So what you want to do is make all your selection in edit mode. Basically selecting edges. Okay, here, here, and maybe here. And then vertex paint, vertex selection. And now you will add the color, let's say gray, and what paint set color. And why it doesn't show up? It doesn't show up because here in settings you don't have vertex color enabled. So I will do it again. Before, after. It's mostly to break the texture repetition or add fake shadows. Now you can do it for this part. Again, you can add it to the quick menu. Vertex color, okay. And this last part. Okay. It's a little better, I guess. Now, what I will show you is how to add collision. So, add mesh, circle, can put again in half, cut in half again, and we can select our cycle. We'll be moving around the base. Okay, edit mode, and we'll do the same, but it's as simple as possible. Oops. As simple as possible. Come on. Usually you don't have to do this for this kind of model, but it's just for the sake of showing you how to do it. It's pretty bad, but it's just I don't want to spend too many time on it. You can go to the object menu, viewport display, and here choose wire, so it's easier to see. I can add some edge loop here, I guess, here. Okay, here our collision. And sometime when you have a really big model, you want to split the collision like that. I'll go preferences, key map. You can change pretty much every shortcuts in Blender. That's pretty good. And what I want is the expand selection. Where is it? Select more, maybe it says select more, select more. Select more. Okay, select more. In edit mode. Object mode. Meshes, okay. Control plus wheel up. Does it work? Okay, it's working. And you don't have to do it, it's just I like it better like that. Mesh, control, wheel down. Okay. And basically, you will want to select a part of the mesh and separate it, like I showed you earlier. And now our collision is in two parts. Sometimes it's better to do that for big models. So how to set up the collision for export? Add empty plane. You will call it collision. Sorry, collision. And you will select your two. Oh my god. And collision here with control P, and set parents. You can keep the transform. And so now your two collision meshes are in the parent that's named collision. And so now on export, it will work. Alright, so here our model with collision, we will export it. So you have to be in object mode, export Morrowind. And vase. And now, as you can see, in Nifskope you have a root collision node, and we have 3 shapes. Pretty good, right? Now I will show you one last thing. Again, it's about optimization. It's Atlas. So we will hide our collision, and what we will do is merge everything. And you know, because I told you, but if we export by merging, but the textures are not merged, it will be separated again, and so you can't optimize like that. So what we will do is we will create a new material with the textures merged. And what's good is that it already exists. Because Project Atlas already did it. So it's the name of the texture is this one. We will be importing it. Textures. Here we go. And what we will do is that we will select everything and we will assign this new texture to the model. We can delete the other ones. And now you have to go to UV editing, and basically you have to move your UVs around. So if I do that, as you can see, it has changed. Now it's more like here. Okay, that one was like here, I think. Okay, there's 2 ones. Go like here. I won't do everything. I'm just scaling on the y-axis. So you understand the logic here. I will put back the vertex colors. And here we are. Now we have only one object with one texture. We'll show the collision again. Yes, we can do it. And now when I export this, boom, it's one object with one texture. So it's much more optimized. So you basically want to use Atlas when you can, especially for this kind of stuff where the texture tiles only on one axis. It's very easy to do. That's pretty much everything I wanted to say. Yeah, import, export, vertex color, a bit of UVing, and collision. Yeah, pretty easy stuff. Alright, I think that's it. That's the end.